Yeah.
There you are. I was like, I know. I was like, I definitely don't want to be on CPT time. The day went by so fast. Oh my gosh. I know you're like, what is this about? Absolutely nothing. I just think that it's really important at this time to have a conversation. Hopefully somebody can be inspired, because this is like really, really rough times that we're going through right now.
Sure.
Let me take some water because it's hot.
I'm about to walk into my studio.
Okay, walk in the studio. That's cool. It's informal. Trust me. I just want to have a conversation.
It's warm in Cleveland, Ohio.
It's warm in here in Connecticut. And then, you know, when you put the light on, because I have to turn the light on because it's too dark. Hey, Meech, what's going on? I have to turn the light on so that you can see me and I can be bright enough. But it's hot when you're under the lights.
Yeah, for sure.
You in the place where you're most comfortable.
Right.
I'm trying to
put this phone on my tripod. Let's see.
What's going on? Hey there. Everybody is tuning in now. That's good. Yeah, so I thought that this is just an idea of mine that I would have conversations for the next few weeks, all the way up until probably like the end of December. I don't know. As I think about this, I'm like, maybe about 5 or 6, but no, I'm going to do this until the end of December. I'm going to have conversations with my friends and other business associates where they can share something about how they, first of all, how you choose your path. And then second, how you're dealing with everything that's going on right now with politics and the COVID thing. So much stuff going on at one time. And I'm watching a lot of my friends lose their loved ones all at the same time.
Right.
So, oh, thank you, Brenda. Okay, that was so nice. No problem. Yeah, so I guess we can dig in. One of my favorite quotes, I wrote it down because I'm not good at like quoting word for word. Is one of the greatest enemies of fulfillment and purpose is procrastination and broken focus. Dr. Cindy Trim. I love, love, love that quote. What does that mean to you? Like, how do you stay focused all of these years? How long have you been doing music? It's been a while.
I've been doing it all my life, so and how do I stay focused? I don't even know. I think it's just part of who I am. Like, music is part of who I am. It's like, you know how we walk on 2 legs, and every time we want to go somewhere, we get up and we walk on our 2 legs.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is with music with me. It's like music is another part of, it's an extension of who I am, just like my arms and stuff. So I don't have to think about staying focused. It's just what I do. You know what I mean?
It's a part of your lifestyle.
Yeah, it's just part of, I think if it wasn't for music, I would probably need to go to the doctor and get a checkup, like, you know, I'm missing vitamins and minerals or something, you know? So
I think that is one of the coolest things that you found out what you love to do at an early age. For me, I don't know what that looks like. You know what I mean? Because I grew up thinking that I had to finish school, go get the 9 to 5. You need a job, you know.
Right.
And the people that I was around, a lot of times it was either you're going to work at the hospital or maybe you might get some office job somewhere. I mean, that was it. That's what I thought.
Right.
But then as I continued on with life, you know, I worked as an EMT for almost 15 years. And then somehow, some part of my life, I decided that I wanted to do something different. And it's not that I've never done anything that I didn't love, because I absolutely love working as an EMT. I love working with patients. I love everything that I did. It's just that my life took a different path. Now, I know with you're a producer, you're a composer, you're a songwriter, you're an actor, you're a director. You do all of these things. How does that happen?
You mean, like, how did I end up doing all these things?
Yeah.
It's your circle. You know, number one, you got to follow your passion. You got to follow, you know, what drives you, who you really are. And then that naturally should bring you in front of people, like-minded individuals. And once you get around these like-minded individuals and you stay true to yourself, all those things should happen. If you have a natural instinct to act, do music or whatever, then all those things should happen naturally because of the people that you're talking to, and who you are should come out and they should ask you like, hey, you want to be in this film? Because they should be able to see in you that this dude probably can act, because it's
Right.
just coming out of you like you know, it should be, whoever you are should be coming out of your pores at all times. So if you're around the right people, they'll see those things without you having to showcase it so much.
I tell people that all the time, that it is very important for us to know who we're surrounded by, because that definitely determines the success and the level that we reach in life. Because if
Hmm.
you're doing something and your friends are doing something else, that playing field, that balance of that is going to be so uneven that it's
Hmm.
just not going to even work anyway. You're going to find yourself separating. Like
Hmm.
for me, I'm definitely not friends with a lot of people that I grew up with, for so many reasons. I just wanted to grow. It's like you want to expand. You want to do more than what you were doing when I grew up. I don't want to continue to do the same things over and over and over. I want to be
Right.
creative. I want to see the world. I have dreams. And
Right.
so if they're not growing, you know, at the level where I'm trying to go or already there, because I like to hang out with people who are already there, so I can be
Right.
that is actually,
Yeah, so I could pick up on some things.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, we got a question. He says, what part of music do you enjoy the most?
That's a really good question, and that's a hard one for me to answer because I love listening, appreciating, worshiping the gods, the people, that the predecessors. I
Mm,
also like making it. I love rapping. Y'all know I'm a freestyle champion, so I love rapping off the top of my head and eating MCs up. But I also love playing the piano and making beats. So it's to me, it's one big thing. That it's not, you can't really split it up. To me, it all gotta happen, or it ain't happening. Like if I'm not making my own beats, I don't want to rap. And if I don't want, and then, like for instance, all these years I've been rapping, I've only rapped over my beats in 35 years. I
wow.
think I rapped over somebody else's beats like once or twice, but they were
Uh,
signed to my company, and that's it. So it's all one
it's
big
all a
blob
big thing.
of music to me. It don't split up.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, let's see. We learn different ways of how to maneuver and get through life as it happens. For
Mhm.
me, um, I've survived, domestic violence. I always speak about that because I just started talking about that. I survived domestic violence. I just spoke about that publicly, which was a really big thing for me.
Mhm.
It was a very scary thing, but then I said that I had to share my story because I didn't want someone else to think that they can't get over it. They can't make it because of that. They believed
Right.
everything this other person told them mentally, physically, all of those things. So I wanted to be just a voice to say that no
Mhm.
matter what the circumstances may look, you can turn it all the way around. So that's the
Mhm.
point of just choosing the path, because I think a lot of people don't grow because they don't know how.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? They don't even know where to start. So
Right.
if we have more conversations like this, not just me
Mhm.
with another Black female, I love our queens, but I think that we need to have conversations with male and female so you can get my perspective on life situation, whatever that may be, and
Mhm.
you can tell your male perspective, because we think differently. Men and
Right.
women think differently, right?
Right.
So overcoming just living in a poverty-stricken area such as where I come from, off of 87th and Superior, off that
Mhm.
Ansel area in
Mhm.
Cleveland,
Right.
to reach the level that I've reached now, I say that to inspire. But if a person doesn't have that um entrepreneurial millionaire mindset, and whatever you can add to that, then that would be about bragging. You know what I mean? That would be about
Yeah.
bragging. But for
Right.
me, it was like watching other people that have done it before me do it and say, how can I find my own way? I always tell people, let me get some water. I always tell people that you have a choice. You literally have a choice. I tell even the little kids, like, hey, I know it could be crap going on at home and all
Hmm.
that, but don't forget your dream. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't think that your dream can't come true, because it can.
Right.
And I just want to be that voice. And that's the whole purpose of this conversation, is that I start coming out more, because I'm still trying to get used to coming out. You know, being on TV, you get your script, you know, and they tell you the questions that they're going to ask you. You look cute, you look fabulous, and it's like, hey, mama, hey, I'm Sherontelle. But like live conversations, because you know, you and I, we've had conversations several times, and
Yeah.
I absolutely love them. And I just think that maybe I need to come on live on my social media platform that I've been trying to build for so long,
Uh-huh.
and share those conversations with the world, because now social media connects us with not just here in America, but people from all over the world. So
Yeah.
that's why I think this is important, because I know he was like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. We could just talk about anything. We could talk about music, family, life, whatever.
Yeah, we could talk about anything. We could talk about the fact that, in my situation, even though I do music most of the time, I still work a full-time job. So, and my job is in the medical community. So, I'm dealing with COVID. I'm dealing with, the panic and the anxiety of people not knowing if they got it or going to get COVID testing before they can get a dental appointment. Now, you have to get COVID testing before you can go to get anything else done. So it's a lot of testing going on, and it's a lot of people that's doubting that the situation is what it is. So that's interesting that all these millions of people was infected and thousands of people were dying, and there's people in between that doesn't believe it's happening around them. That's deep.
Yeah, that is deep. And a lot of times people, they don't want to see the truth. They want to, they live in their own little bubble of their perception of what they think,
Hmm.
things are. Oh, our audience is growing. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And
Oh yes.
that's the thing. Like, how do you continue to be on this life journey with all of those things going on? I can't work in clinical anymore. That journey for me is over. And I know
Right.
that. Like, I mean, I have like serious PTSD, as I must say, because of that. Like, not even just the trauma of my own trauma, but things that I've seen working at University
Witnessing.
Hospital and other hospitals that I worked at. When they
Yeah.
when they say that time of death that is so final. And
Right.
I heard that over and over and over and over again. I would go to work and not know how many people, our people, would be gone,
Right. Right.
before the end
Right.
of my shift. And to do that time after time, I can't do it. But now we're here, and I'm, talking to people and inspiring and motivating people through my story and those things, to let people know, like, you can still get through this. Even though we're going through what we're going through right now, you can get through it. But you got to be aware that it's actually happening.
Yeah, because if you're not aware, you can't be safe if you're oblivious.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people don't want to be tested, but one of the reasons why testing is important so you can know who has it if you don't.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I want to know who stink. I want to know who walk too slow when I'm trying to get somewhere. I want to know everything. So why wouldn't anybody want to know that? So it has me baffled. That the crisis is so deep, and when everybody is not taking it seriously, then it's hard to eradicate the problem, because just like the mask situation, like if I got a mask on and I'm in a room and no one else has on the mask, none of us are protected, not even me.
Nobody.
So both of us need to have on the mask to protect each other. If only one of us got on the mask, then we're back to being vulnerable. So that means that if the population is not participating, as far as trying to follow the guidelines, then we're really not making any progress as far as getting safe. And that's the scary part about trying to be a musician, trying to be an actor, trying to be all these things when you got the big cloud of health over your head while you're trying to do all these magnificent things that you hope, you know, put your name in history somewhere. But you can't do it when everybody is like, you know, being nonchalant about something as serious as living and dying.
Exactly.
You know, so
I was in I did a talk a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if I even brought my best self because of everything that's going on the outside. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if I should even be talking about dreams and all of these things with people. It's like being at a war, and I've never been to a war, just observed. You know, and I'm just standing there like, hey, come on over here. You'll be like, get down. Like, you don't see the bullets, they're flying all over the place. You know what I mean? Totally, definitely, I think 100% psychological warfare. You know what I mean? Like, we're under a serious psychological warfare attack, and we need to wake up.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, when I wake up, I'm definitely giving thanks for my life, because I mean, I think about my daughter's father. I was just talking to his mom the other day on the phone, and I'm going to try to say this without crying. He lost his life at 24, you know, by the hands of someone else with a gun in their hand, you know. And I think about now, to say that I'm in my 40s, and every time when I say that, people are like, what? It's like, yes, I am, and I'm happy to be, because people are freaking dying every day. Do you realize that?
Right.
Like, forget about everything else. The TV shows, the money, the celebrities. Celebrity doesn't even mean nothing right now. Nobody even cares about that, because we are trying to breathe.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're trying to breathe. So the fact that I've made it to this point, I have to be like, come on. I got to bring somebody else up and say, come on, we can do this. Do you know what's going on? Even with all the rest in peace, even with people putting the video sharing that they had COVID, is not enough.
Nope. Because people is like down. You know what? A person can like be right next to somebody that just got positive results, asymptomatic, but still got it. Talk to the person, and the person show them the paperwork. Then a week later, they're on Facebook talking about, man, they need to quit playing, man. This is a hoax. No, you just spoke with somebody with it.
Yeah.
So basically, people was just calling people flat out liars. Like, it's crazy. And you know, you got the Trump administration. You know, a lot of them is downplaying it. Now they're starting to get with the program a little bit, because it's just hitting home too hard. But you wouldn't think people of color would be having the same rhetoric as Trump and them. But we criticized Trump for 3.5 years, and then when the COVID comes, we agree with him. Like, man,
yeah,
man,
I've seen a couple posts. I've seen a lot of posts, actually. Yeah, I was like, wow, really? This country is it's on fire. Like, I posted that the other day, like, it's on fire, and we're just fanning the flames as if it doesn't even exist.
Right.
It's so scary to me.
I got a cousin that just got out of ICU. I got another cousin that just went through it. I got a friend of mine that just got tested positive the other day with asymptomatic, so she got to do a 14-day quarantine. I know so many people that got it or had it. Then it's like, if I know all these people, it's like, why don't my dude that I be talking to over here don't believe that people got it? Are you calling me? I've been friends with you for over 20 years. Am I a liar today? Today is the day that you don't trust me.
Right.
COVID.
Right. We don't want to accept that what we don't want to see. You know what I mean? We don't want to do that. But we're on a mission too. So do we get sidetracked by these things, or do we pay attention to them but still continue to move forward and continue to create?
I move forward. You know what I'm saying? Number one, my studio lives with me. So I don't have to go anywhere to produce to have clients, to produce myself, to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep pushing along, in the studio and everything, knowing that this pandemic has to end someday. And when it ends, I'm gonna be, my feet flat on the ground, ready to keep on going. I didn't take a break, and all of a sudden I got to catch up because everything is open all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm staying proactive as far as my music, my creativity, and all of that. But at the same time, I'm staying safe.
Oh, I know. I'm definitely staying safe. I've been wearing a mask so much that I've gotten this mask acne. I guess that's what it is.
Straight up, you got a tan.
Yeah, but I don't go out that often. I work from I'm at home, so I'm trying to stay away. But I did go out to Rhode Island like last weekend because I had to get out. We think when people call
We had a freeze.
me on the live, like they're calling me on Instagram, like that is so silly. Um, Yeah, so I got away, and went to Rhode Island, which is like about an hour and 15 minutes from where I live. And it was still so weird. Like a lot of the businesses was boarded up. The restaurants you had to call ahead, just to sit
Yeah.
outside.
Uh,
And I don't know, it was like the Black Lives Matter on the windows, and some businesses was like shut down. It was definitely a weird feeling, but it was also a beautiful feeling too, because I was able to reflect, spend some time in nature, that
uh-huh.
sort of thing, but I don't want to go out.
And somebody just asked, I don't know if you've seen it. Somebody just asked, "How could you be so perfect?" Are they talking to you? Did you see that?
I
Somebody
love
said,
it because it's so fast. Where can I write all your wear? I know people do talk about the t-shirts I wear. I have no idea. Nobody is perfect. Oh, thank you. Yeah, nobody is perfect. That must have been for you.
maybe they saying how I deal with the COVID-19 or something to
maybe,
balance.
maybe, yeah. Because
I'm just
some
trying
people
to.
are losing their mind though. E, I call you
Oh,
E, but
oh, there it
they're
goes.
like some people are losing their mind.
Wilbur, you see it? Wilbur Richmond 17. How can you be this perfect?
Oh yeah, I see it.
Um, Hashtag slay. You, I don't. I'm not being perfect. I'm just being logical. If you're talking to me, I'm just being logical,
Right.
and I'm just trying to make the best decision every moment of the day until it's time to go to bed again.
Yeah.
Then I wake up on the same thing again. That's it. That's all I can say.
I thought about something else too. I've been studying the vortex math,
Ah,
the 3, 6, the 9, and how you double the numbers and how you still end up with,
yeah,
like, it's a
yeah.
real concept. Like, man, I'm excited about it. But one of the things that I know about life is that we have sound, frequency, vibration, and energy,
Yeah.
right? Those are the things that
Right.
we operate on. So
Right.
with your profession, that's why I love producers. I absolutely love them, because you're really the creators of the universe. People don't understand the deep concept of that. Like, that's why I try. Sometimes I'm on my hood stuff where I
Mm,
want to listen to a certain kind of music, and I find myself driving a little faster on the highway too when I'm listening to
right.
it. I just realized though, as I gotten older, how important it is to be careful of the certain frequencies and vibrations that you allow. Tell me
Right.
how important that is when you're creating.
Well, I'm I only can probably answer that in a scientific way because I'm
Yes.
into distorted harmonics and harmony.
Uh-huh.
See, when you look at the world, everything is kind of symmetrical, like circles, 180-degree circles, 180-degree angles, 45, 90-degree, 360, all this stuff. And then looking at ourselves, if you split us down the middle, we look the same on the left half of us look exactly like the right half of us. Everything is symmetrical. Everything humans do look the same on the left as it does on the right. So when it comes to sound, It's the exact same concept. That's exactly how the universe is made up, with perfect harmonies. So, do re mi fa sol la ti do. That's not something humans made up. That's something that they just symbolically came up with, so we can understand what we're listening to, the harmonics of everything. So, and you can put it in this way: like when the baby is like 3 months, 4 months old, try playing some stuff that's off key, and that baby, not even having a history of listening to music, is probably going to get irritated, start crying, and all that type of stuff because the harmonics are wrong. So if I hope that kind of partially answers the questions, is that, you know, music and sound is just as finite as a rock, or I mean, you know, it's the exact same situation. Here's another way to look at it. You know how light, if you have a mirror and you can point that mirror in different directions and see different angles, sound moves in the exact same angle as the light. So light reflects off something and bounces at a certain angle. Sound goes and hits that same thing at the same angle and follows the light exactly. So that lets you know that what you see and what you hear are all in the same family.
And it's very important, especially during this time, to make sure what frequency are we operating on. You know
Right.
what
So
I
if you
mean?
hear
Like
something messed up and you see something messed up, it's messed up.
it's messed up. Exactly. I've also learned in this pandemic that I'm not in control.
Right.
That
I,
was one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in this entire thing, is that I'm not in
and I learned that people and time is more important than possessions. Because when you're quarantined, the only thing you have is yourself and who you quarantine with, and
Mm-hmm.
your television and radio. That's it, and some food. So you start really starting to appreciate the things that really matter when you stuck. So you start even doing your hair don't be as important sometimes when you know you're not
Nothing is
leaving. It's
important.
like, what's important is, do I really like this person I got to be around every single day for 3 months?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, you just start noticing stuff about yourself, about others, about life. Everything start coming to coming to the surface when you're not distracted by kicking it, by clothes, by parties, by clubs, by sex, and all the other stuff that got our mind moving in all these different directions. But when you got to sit still because of a pandemic, you can reflect on what matters the most.
Mm. I see more families outside. There's no bikes in the store.
Yep.
I don't have a bike and I wanted one because I was like, oh man, I have time now. I can go on the trail and ride my bike. And I can't even find bikes. People stop buying those and now
Yep.
they're buying them again. Like, I think that is cool. I mean,
Yeah.
there are a lot of positive things, whether people want to admit it or not, that we're having
Yep.
more conversations because I'm now able to talk to my daughter more, you know. I'm also learning to, my schedule isn't so busy. I was looking forward to, I had events planned this year. I
I
had
know. I've
vacations
seen that. Yeah.
planned, all these plans. And they was put at a halt. And I had to, at first I was frustrated. I was like, what is going on? And then I started saying like, wow, this is actually pretty dope. I needed this rest. You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
needed this time because this isn't gonna last forever. It all will pass. I'm trying to look and see. This is dope. These comments are coming so fast. Um, Emojis. How the young people speak now. They don't even have conversations.
Yeah. I'm vibing off what they're saying. So so I got a question for you.
Okay.
Everybody is interested in your fashion. Where are you buying these things from that all these people like that tank top? What does that tank top say?
Oh, this is one of the ones that I would wear to the gym if I was going to the gym. I haven't been in the gym in months. You know, we was on lockdown way before you guys were in the Midwest. Like, we've been on lockdown for almost 6 months.
Right,
You
right,
know what I
right.
mean? And honestly, I've been prepping for this since last October.
Hmm.
There were conversations and meetings about this was coming to
Ain't that crazy?
fruition. Yeah, this was like October last
So,
year.
Sherontelle, so you was talking about this back in October, and
Yeah,
Trump says he didn't hear about it till like January, February. What in the world, man?
but it was hard. And think about it. It was, if you look about around the time the untimely death of Kobe and all of that, like, it was already in the newspaper then. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to be aware and see what's going on. But you know,
Mm.
if you've been around for some time, you know that every few years we're always hit with something crazy,
Every time.
something
Yep.
wild, right? But
Yep.
this one here is, I don't know. It's like, it's crazy because it's like airborne, maybe. I don't know. Like, all of the uncertainty and not the consistency of the news that they're giving us is what's causing all this crazy.
Right.
I don't know how I'm getting through it. I don't know.
I,
I'm just taking it one day at a time.
one day at a time, and I'm just trying to stay out of harm's way. That's it. And I noticed Dr. Fauci has finally putting it, standing on his own 2 feet and speaking for himself and not getting pushed around by the administration. And they're basically saying, like, we need to wear masks. Mitch McConnell is now saying everybody needs to wear masks. Vice President Pence, who was anti-mask, finally saying everybody need to wear masks. Like, because their staff is getting sick all around them. I
Yeah,
mean, you can't hire temps. You can't hire a temp to come in and fill in for a full-time position in the White House. So you might
no,
want to keep everybody healthy,
we gotta be
because it
safe.
ain't like you can just
Yeah,
have a temporary cut. Hey, can you watch these classified files for 3 months until our real guy comes back? No, that's not how it works. So they need to stay as healthy as fuck.
I back to the question. I get these different shirts from various things online, supporting. My friend had a very good line called Creative Art of Expressions, and it has a lot of different sayings on it. So everyone
Mm.
looks at you. Yeah, okay. These comments are so funny. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I don't even care about nails. I don't want to go in nobody's nail salon.
Yeah.
I don't want to expose myself anymore to it, really. But you got to go outside because you got to go to the grocery store.
You got, the park is not a bad place to go as long as you're not going to the beach and crowded with a whole bunch of folks. But you
Mm-hmm.
can take walks in the park, strolls, jog, you meditate, watch the sunset. You can do a lot of things safely out here without being stuck in the house. Bike riding, like you mentioned earlier, that's a good thing to do. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, but
find one.
it's it's ways to take advantage of the situation to get something good out of it.
That's
You
so
know.
true. That's so true. There's another quote where Magic Johnson says, "Always be ready to adapt and adjust," because you never know. With a
Right.
lot of the businesses and stuff, they are failing and going down, and I really say my prayers to that because it is
You
no
go.
joke trying to maintain.
How's your stock portfolio going?
Plummeting.
So I asked that, and I'm hoping that the people that's listening to us is thinking about long-term investments and EFT stocks and precious metals or whatever.
Hmm.
But how do you navigate the stock market during a situation like this? You got to kind of like focus in on the companies that's going to benefit from people being stuck in the house and try to, and not, you don't want to sell everything because all that stuff is going to rebound one day.
Yeah.
Because long term stocks is long term, but it's definitely a panicky situation when you see stocks, when you see yourself losing money on stocks that was doing well before the COVID, and then stocks that wasn't doing well before the COVID doing better because everybody got to use it because they're in the house, like Netflix and all these things that's going to do well because you got to get a subscription just
Uh,
to feel. But like, I've been really paying attention to the stock market and what companies do well during a depression and what companies don't do well during a depression. There's always some stocks that's
so
still
I
doing
just don't
good no
sell.
matter how the economy
Yeah.
flounders.
I wouldn't move. I wouldn't do anything. So I said, don't
So you
sell.
just letting your stuff sit?
No, I think that it's a beautiful thing. I never understood why about 10 years ago, my financial advisor had said to me, you're at a good age. So you know that at some point this is going to go down, but you don't even have to worry about it because at the age that you are, obviously life is not guaranteed, but we're just talking about on paper. You're at a good age that by the time it bounces back up, you're going to still be good. I think the people that do panic are the ones who are older.
Right.
Sometimes like when they need that coin and then they get hit like that, it's gonna come back up. I mean, what goes down comes
Right.
back up. So I don't
But
worry
do you
about
have time in your lifespan to wait for it to come back up? That's what you're talking about. The people that's at that
it. Right,
60,
exactly.
where 20 years is like, I ain't got 20 years to wait for Facebook to bounce back.
Exactly. Those
Right.
people, because I'm not even thinking about that. I'm realizing that the older that I get, the less I need. I just want to be chill. I want to make sure that I got my food. I got a place over my head. I got a roof over my head and good health. I can't do
Right.
nothing without this. I realized that 3 years ago, my heart stopped.
I
I
remember.
was in intensive care. My heart rate was over 175, blood pressure out the roof. You know what I mean? Like just, and when you get through that, you start to realize like, hey, all work no play. Absolutely not. I mean, I lived by that motto for a very long time. All work
Was
no sleep.
was that a stress situation, overworked, or was it just something that came out of the blue?
Oh no, it was definitely stress. I was in my car in New York City and I was in traffic. I had just hired a life coach because I was starting to feel like I was at the edge. Like something, I'm losing myself here. And I talked to him on the phone and I said, this traffic is making me so angry right now, right?
Hmm.
And if you're in New York City, you already know that the traffic is like that. So why would you be angry about something that you already know about?
Right.
That's what it is. And so I just want to get out of this traffic. I'm angry. I'm on my way to a meeting. And he says, relax, get through the traffic because you don't want to get into an accident. He said, call me back later. And I said, okay, I'll call you back later. So I get off the phone. And then 2 days later, because I never called him back that day, 2 days later, that's when I ended up in the hospital. But you can feel it
Mm.
coming on. If you pay attention to your body, you know when your body is off. I literally used to work by that whole thing of all work, no sleep. I do still stay up at nighttime, but I do make sure that I get at least a good 8 hours of sleep.
That's
But the
good.
time that I'm up, I'm way more productive now. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
way more productive than I was when I was doing the all work, no sleep. Just
I'm
because you're
glad you.
busy don't mean you're being productive.
I'm gonna tell you, I used to be worried about your sleep habits. Cause you used to be like, you used to do marketing somewhere at a university.
Yeah.
Then you would do this, that, and the other. Then you got children. And then you would stay up third shift doing publicity, public relations.
Oh,
And I'm like, when
exactly.
is she's going to crash?
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. But it happened over time. And people
Yeah.
don't realize like that's why we have to be very careful about the food that we eat and
Right.
how we're reacting during this, even a time such as this. Like how are we feeling? Are we feeling those feelings that we're feeling, the angry and all that, but letting it go? Are we feeling the sadness and letting it go? Are
Uh,
we feeling whatever it is that we're feeling? Because you can feel all different types of emotions when you're going through a pandemic. But the important thing is letting it go. You know what I mean? And breathing and moving forward. I
right.
didn't do that. I didn't breathe. I didn't talk about it. I let it all just build into the point
Right.
where what happened. There are some things like it's a beautiful thing to have done some of the things that I've done, and I've only been in the music business for a little over 10 years now, I want to say.
Mhm.
Um, but there's also some ugly things that don't go with my character and how the things that I believe that life should be and what it should look like. Everybody don't do good business. Everybody is not about positive lifestyles and
Right.
doing people right, those sort of things. There were some ugly processes along the way. There were record labels that didn't pay me when they were supposed to pay me. There
Mm.
were things being said about me that wasn't true,
Hmm. Oh, I can relate.
from big agencies, like big people. Like
Mm.
it's only I'm a freelance. You know what I mean? I don't work for an agency. I don't work for anybody. I work for myself. And you're mad at me about working with a certain client, all of the cutthroat, all of those things in between. Like people always see, like, they'll see your album and they'll be like, damn, that's dope. You did that? Like, how do you do that? But they ain't see all of the stuff that happens in between with the
Yeah.
creative process of it. And this has definitely been a process, and I've been trusting it. A couple years ago, I had got an offer, a very huge offer, and I didn't take it. I've realized that it's not always about the money
Right. Right.
with things. So people say it's about the money. It is because we needed money as a tool for us to get the things that we need to get to so that we can live, but it's not everything.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm just learning, you know what I mean? And learning and living as I continue on. And that is one of the biggest things, is that health is wealth. And it's very important to take care of my mind, body, and my soul.
How was Focus doing during all this situation?
Um, we would say a silent prayer for him. It's so crazy. A couple days ago, I said, when I'm thinking about people, I'm just going to send it out. I don't care if I've told him a million times how much I appreciate him for everything that he's done for me with my career thus far. I'm going to reach out and pay homage. And just 2 days ago, I post how much, like I'm still living my dream 10 years later,
Hmm.
because he said yes. Like,
Right.
it only takes one idea, one yes, one somebody that you connect with, and everything just starts to line up the way that it's supposed to line up. So he's having a very difficult time.
He
Yeah,
is.
and I'm giving him his time. Like, I think, have you ever lost somebody and people ring your phone like crazy?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, not right now. I appreciate it. And some people actually get upset if you don't want
Hmm.
to talk to them at that time and you just lost somebody really close.
Right.
Whoa.
Right.
So at this time, I just want to pray for him. You know what I mean? And just continue to pray for not just him, but for the family. What
Right.
what a tragedy. That is a huge loss. I don't know what that pain. I don't want to feel that pain.
Mm.
I have 3 children, and I don't want to feel that kind of pain. I can't imagine. I can't
Right. I feel
imagine.
you.
So all we can do is like lift our brother up in prayers, and that God gives him strength to get through this season, because this is a very difficult season. I can only imagine. I've seen in my lifetime so many parents send over their children, you know, to say their goodbyes. Ah,
It's crazy.
it is a very crazy
So
thing.
he's going through his thing right now, but yeah, he'll be okay.
He'll be okay.
Overall, though, the aftermath situation is still doing him well, right? With
I
with,
believe
with
so.
Dr. Dre.
I think he's still doing his thing there.
That's,
Um, after after I got out of the hospital, I decided to start another business. I started another business, and I did something that they say never to do, but I just felt like if I'm speaking and I'm going to these schools and institutions or whatnot, that it should be under my name as a speaking business. So I named it Sherontelle Dirskell International.
okay.
And I put international because right before my crisis, I was planning a tour
Africa.
in Africa, right?
I remember.
So ready, the team, and all of that. And I just was like, I can't do it. I can't go anywhere. Like, forget about it.
I
So
feel you.
I don't know. I just decided that I wanted to not necessarily move away from music forever, but for a moment, let's try something else. So I started speaking, and it really took off.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it really, really took off. And that's the beautiful thing. Like, just give me my mind. Let me keep my mind so that that's where all the ideas lie. That's where my imagination lies. That's how we create, through our minds. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years, is just concentrating more on the speaking business. But a lot of times people want to hire me, for publicists, because when you're good at something, people want to be a part of that. They don't want you to let it go.
I mean, you talking to the choir now. You talking to me. You know if I had to choose a publicist to do my stuff, it's going to be you. I wish I could hypnotize you to make you just do all this stuff.
And I had to stay on my path, like, oh man, I can't. Like, I am doing this right now. But then somehow I started doing a few things for Day One. You familiar with Day One?
I heard of Day One, yeah.
Okay, so I started doing some things for him, but I don't know. This is a very trying time for public relations and all of that.
Is it? Tell me about it.
You know what I mean? Like, even he was saying yesterday, we were chatting via the text, and he was saying, like, interviews is going out of style. Like, they're about to go away. And I'm like, does he have a point here?
Because of the live, you can get everything without nobody asking questions officially no more. Everything is in your face. Artists are turning into their own publicists just because of technology and social media and all these live this, that, and the other, and able to just send somebody something direct and get it right back. People charging their fees, all in between, all of that type of stuff. So I do see how I can see how being a PR specialist can be challenging right now, with everybody having their way and figuring it out on their own a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think that public relations is ever going to go out of style. I think it's always going to be a necessity when you hit a certain level, to protect yourself, to protect your image, and to make sure that the way you want to be stays that way, and you can't always count on yourself to do it.
Exactly. And it's like you need a team. You know what I mean? Like, as a PR, you're the liaison between the artists, whoever that may be. You know what I mean? They can be companies. PR is in all different types of forms. But you need a liaison between that and the journalist. And you're not going to be able to do the journalist work and whatever else you do and answer the phones and the emails. Because for a minute there, I was glued to my phone and my laptop. Like, I wasn't going to go in. I can't go nowhere without a phone and a laptop, because when you're scheduling interviews, when you're I was writing for other publicists that worked for labels I would never mention, because I loved it so much. I was trying to look at all the comments. Yeah, it's not going to go away. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I'm here. Okay, you're there.
All right, somebody was trying to call me. I'm listening. Just walking.
Oh yeah, but we're almost at the end of the time. So, what else do you have going on that you want to share? Because I know we're towards the end.
Well, let's see. Y'all know. Well, I don't know who knows or who doesn't know, but the connected television show is getting back into production.
Okay.
So we have new episodes we're filming. And so that's still going on. You can catch the Connected on Roku or Fire Stick, Chromecast, wherever you watch your streaming stuff, and just download the Resilient Media Group app or channel and start checking us out. I'm acting now. I'm composing. I'm actually right now, the biggest project that I'm working on at the moment is I'm doing the audio mixing for a movie called DNA 2. That's scheduled to premiere this fall. So I'm doing that. I do a lot of stuff with film lately, as far as audio. And I'm still producing projects. I got some secret ones. I'm doing some big things with some artists around here that don't want me to tell y'all about it. But a lot of people already know. I just don't want to be the one that just flat out said. Then, of course, I'm working on Huh? And of course, I'm working on
don't you be the one to release it.
Yeah, it's not gonna be me. I'm not telling nobody's business. And then I'm working on a project that's all collaborations. That's already like halfway through the project. Took a break because of the pandemic, but we getting back started. Producing some reggae artists. I'm getting into more Caribbean and Latin music. So I'm doing some reggae and some islandy type stuff. And that's about it. What I haven't been doing though, Sherontelle, is making beats every day. I used to make 3 to 5 beats a day or more every single day. End up with thousands, like 1,000, 1,500 beats a year, some stuff like that. But that part of me has slowed down a little bit because I make beats when it's a lot of people around me, and lately I haven't had that company, that energy. So you know, like if you was in the studio with me and we was talking about politics or
Right,
a vacation,
right,
I would make music because of our conversation. Like the conversation was, you would hear the conversation through piano. But
right.
I don't have, I don't have that. It's not like that right now. So hopefully this pandemic gets me back to making beats for no reason. Right now I just make beats when I'm getting paid, but I haven't made beats just because I felt like it lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and I was gonna ask you that too. Like, how do you find your inspiration? You know, some like for me writing, because right now I'm trying to complete this book. I'm in my final draft of it, and I thought that maybe if I go out to another state, be in a different scenery, something to inspire me, so that I can, you know, come back and write down that pen. I didn't feel inspired while I was there. I didn't want to write. I just wanted to enjoy the scenery because I'm like, I'm alive, I'm
Right.
breathing. That's not even important right now. Like, let me just take in this.
And I haven't been writing any rhymes. Like, only time I write raps is if somebody asks me to feature on their song, and then I write a verse. But I haven't had any type of inspiration to write me a whole song and none of that stuff lately. So, but luckily I got so much material that nobody's ever heard that I don't have to worry about that. Anything I release, they gonna be
Yeah.
like, man, do that. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of stuff, all this stuff over here that's just thousands of beats. I got an unlimited supply of music, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm not really worried about it, but I am ready to get back. I'm ready to get back started being creative, but just because you're ready, I need a push. So, you know what I mean? And my circle that's hanging around me there's nothing wrong with them, but they're not the push for me to make
Yeah.
music right now. So,
And
it's a,
I'm also thinking, like, you know, I do see some of my producer friends, they haven't stopped, and some have. Is it the season where we're supposed to just spend time with our family and relax because you have been creating for so long and you do have something there? Maybe it's that time to just
right.
see what's new that you should
I
be
want to
creating
cook.
and prepare.
I want to cook. I want to be in the kitchen experimenting with recipes and going on YouTube and learn how to make some stuff I never tasted before. Like, I need a challenge. I need to do something
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I need to do
I
something that
do
I'm
know
not
what you
used to doing.
mean. Because I said I wanted to learn a new language and I wanted
Yeah.
to study physics while we're taking this time. Because that's something that I didn't study in college. I didn't take physics. So
Mhm.
I want to study physics and I want to learn a new language and finish my book. So that's on my
That's
list.
that's crazy. I bet people that's listening to you like, she want to study physics, the law of relativity and all that. She really,
Right,
she a nerd.
exactly. Look at somebody at my door. So yeah, I really, really, honestly, I want to say that I appreciate, you know, you taking this time to spend with me. Like, this
No,
is so cool. Because I'm like, it's so hard to like, I don't have you know, a typed out thing about what this is. Somebody is at my door.
right.
That's so funny. But I just know that I want to have a conversation because I love conversation. I'm not great on text. So I definitely appreciate you so much for this.
Hey, I appreciate you inviting me, and we got to keep this going. It don't have to
Absolutely.
be IG live all the time, but got to keep the
No, it
conversations
doesn't.
going.
But this is something that we have to do. I mean, I think we talked on live on Facebook before, but this is definitely the first time we've been on Instagram and done something like this. So thank you for being my first with this series.
I'm in history. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, definitely. This is the first one I'm planning on doing 30. So thank you.
You welcome. Well, I guess we're signing out.
We are signing out.
Peace. Scratch Paper Productions. Hey, subscribe. YouTube.com/Eric
Duh.
Wilson SC. Hit me up on Twitter, Eric Wilson Beats with a Z. Hit me up on Instagram, Eric Wilson Beats with a Z. Matter of fact, Google me. Just put in Eric Wilson Hip Hop and then hit me up and let me know what you need or what you want or what you think I should change. Whatever. It don't matter. Just interact with me. And
I
I'll
didn't even
talk
think about like drop your social media links and tell them where.
promote it.
Thank you for doing that. Oh my goodness. Have a great evening.
It's on, Miss Slim.
All
Peace.
right, peace.